A graduate of St. Norbert, Wendy began in the corporate world, yet driven by her passion and vision, she became entrepreneur and founder of the Simple Life Hospitality. Please join me in giving her a warm welcome to Wendy, who will be sharing her entrepreneurial insights, how she overcame huge barriers, and the inspiring story behind her company. Wendy.
Thank you for that amazing introduction. So let me ask you a question. Who out here has been in a situation that felt like the worst thing that could possibly happen, only to find out months or maybe years later that it was the best thing that could ever happen? Raise hands? Yes, okay, I'm not alone here. And time again, through my journey, I've discovered that is always the case. Always. It may be hard to identify at the moment why something is good, but it always turns out for the best. My journey started at St. Norbert College. I graduated and then went into the corporate world. I went, did everything I was supposed to do, got a master's, and went up that corporate ladder very quickly, but eventually realized it was leaning against the wrong tree. And did I listen to the whispers from the universe telling me that I needed to make a move and I needed to go into what I really wanted to do, which was start a business? Oh no, I waited for the 2x4 to hit me upside the head. And that came in from many different ways, but it ultimately ended up in panic attacks behind closed doors in my office daily. So eventually I did make the decision to leave, and I wanted to start my own business. And so I went and started a store in Egg Harbor, and we sold vacation home decor. When I say we, it's my husband, Scott, and myself. And so we got a vacation property because we didn't want to be driving back and forth all the time to Green Bay, where our house was. And so we purchased a property and decided that instead of staying in the property, it was a lot more fun to rent it out. So we got a second property thinking, well, this time I'll rent this one. But again, we decided that it was way more fun to rent it out than it was to stay there. And people heard we were doing well with our properties. We were doing modern processes, which was not something that was happening much up in Door County at the time, and making a lot more revenue for people, or for ourselves rather. And so we ended up bringing on properties and managing properties for other people. And in the end, that's really where the Simple Life Hospitality was born. We ended up closing up our shop and going full-time into vacation rentals, but before doing that, we ended up, we were doing hotel condo remodeling. And so we put nightstand clocks into these hotels, and they have these charging ports. You'll see them if you go to lots of hotels out there. And at the end of the season, people wanted to come in and buy that clock, so we brought in stock. And then at the end of the season, we put them on Amazon because they were very, very expensive clocks, so we didn't want to keep them in stock during the low season. So we put them on Amazon, and they absolutely took off, to the point that we were bringing in 7 figures in a year with that particular clock. And that was funding our vacation rental business that was still, very much in the early stages. Well, things were going pretty well. I wasn't really going full bore into vacation rentals because we had this other business that was doing pretty well. But then I got an email that said from the manufacturer that they were not going to sell those clocks to us anymore. And we lost a 7-figure business within 30 days. And we struggled. We struggled hardcore. We had a hard time paying our mortgage. We had payroll. We had a hard time paying that. We had bills. We were taking the equivalent of payday loans to just be able to make ends meet in the business. I remember going to Target and going to the grocery store and looking at my wallet, not knowing which card had any space on it. And I went to Target and had to put like $2 into the machine so that I could buy these journals that I had. And it was crazy. I couldn't even afford to get a an outfit for my grandma's funeral. So we really struggled. But that's okay because, we're coming up on our high season. And our high season, we had properties in Florida as well as Wisconsin, so our high season started around spring break time. And lo and behold, that was March of 2020. And everyone knows what happened then. It's from the groans, everyone knows. And we lost all of our bookings within days. And I remember looking up at the stars out in the, walking my dog in the pitch black, and just looking up and being like, God, what, there was some profanity, which I'm not sure, but you probably yes. What is going on? Like, why me? What's going on here? And I knew at that moment I needed to surrender. I needed to stop trying to control the situation. There was nothing else we could do. Like, our secondary plan was, well, we can always go bartend. We could always go be a server in a restaurant. Well, those were all closed. I started to look for jobs, couldn't find jobs. And so that moment of surrender was where things really started to turn around and the magic started to happen. Just those loans, the SBA loans we had been applying for just months before and getting denied, all of a sudden, they were handing us money left and right. The grants that they were giving out, and not only that, but COVID propelled vacation rentals forward in a massive, massive way. That was the way to travel. If people still wanted to go on vacation, they just weren't gonna go on airplanes. So we brought in so many more bookings, and also people recognized what a good investment it was. And so we had a whole bunch of new properties come on board to manage. And in 2019 and 2020, we were near bankrupt. And last year, we were named number 291 of the Inc. 5,000 fastest growing companies in America. Thank you. And my team is here today to help me celebrate. My female members, because the male was not invited. You're already probably going to come for us. But I encourage you to go back in your life and identify those areas where you think that something bad has happened and see where it actually turned out to be good. Or if you're going through something right now, just know that it's going to turn out for the best. Be grateful for whatever the experience is that you're having right now. It is because, it is not in spite of the challenges that I'm here today. It is because of the challenges that I'm here today. The adversity, that is what got me here. And when I was going through those struggles several years ago, I said, I don't remember, I wrote it down, I said it out loud, I said, I will get to tell this story from stages someday. And so today I'm about to conclude my very first telling of this story as a keynote. And I thank you so much for being part of my journey today.
Thank you, Wendy. So you notice the theme with our two keynote speakers, Wendy and Connie. There's resilience, there was courage, and I think one of the most important ones is the strong support system